welcome to the Home 411 Show, your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We're also streaming live on the web, hometownstation.com, so check us out. If you missed it, tell your friends they can get it later, right? Is that right, Cal? Okay.
That is correct.
I'm Randy Winter of Randy Winter Construction, and I'll be your host, and we have two wonderful guests here, John Fortman from LBW Insurance. Hi. Thanks, John. Appreciate all that good information.
Happy to be here.
And if anyone missed it, you can get it on our, on the web?
HometownStation.com, or you can go to our YouTube channel. Will be up.
Actually, it'll be on my website next week.
And your website
all
next
right.
week.
And Mr. Brown, Jeff Brown from NV Landscape. How are you, Jeff?
Doing
Good
better.
Good, yeah. So we were talking a little bit about koi ponds and the pleasing comfort that you actually can give somebody by making them one of these ponds.
But you know, if you have a home, a koi pond may not be the water feature that would be best suited for your property. You might want to consider some of the other options that are out there.
What, like fountains?
Fountains, whether they're standalone fountains that are out there or whether they're site-built fountains that are put onto here. It depends a lot on not only your architecture but kind of your geography and what is the best use for that space and what goals are you trying to accomplish. But you know, ponds and streams have a lot going for them, and
you need a lot of space though for them.
You need some more space with it, but there is something else that you can use now to get the sound of water and maybe have even less maintenance than you would in a pond, and that would be a pondless waterfall. So if you want to have a stream and a waterfall, we can have that, and we can create that now in a very low maintenance but very enjoyable environment.
And how's that?
Well, what we do is we create the same babbling brook that we'd love to have on here. We have a very durable liner that contains all of the water. The water flows into a reservoir, which is underground. We have a pump that recirculates all of this water, but it's all camouflaged with natural river stone. It looks completely natural. You never see anything that doesn't look harmonious.
And you build it, or is it
Yes,
prefab?
we build this. We build this. And so the beauty of building it is that if we want to have a meandering stream that comes up and maybe comes to the edge of your patio, we can create that. If you want to have one in a smaller space that is more the sound of water but doesn't have the room, we can custom design it to fit in that space. And it is extremely low maintenance. Now the downside of it is that there are no kois, or you won't have the aquatic plants, because things like the water lilies are gorgeous that are here. The koi add a beautiful dimension. But the flip side is, if you have a site that doesn't allow these kinds of things in here, you get the sound of water. You have the natural environment, and it is just such a wonderful element to put into your garden.
So it looks like a little stream, but there's the plants don't grow in it.
No, the plants don't grow in, but we typically encourage them to kind of spill into it, grow over it.
So you have hanging plants around adjacent to it,
or trailing plants that can go into it. And the beauty of putting this in is you don't have to start with this and build the garden around it. We can actually introduce these into gardens that are already there. And so if you haven't had the sound of water in here, you don't have to tear everything out. You can just introduce this element into it.
So if I'm a listener and I want to do what you're talking about, then I would just call NB Landscape and ask for Jeff Brown, or you have someone there?
You can reach us online. You can always go to nvlandscape.com or simply call us 661-286-8888.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
286-8888.
Okay. 286-8888. So it's 4 8s.
That's right.
286-8888.
And we can take a look at it. But
now that's free to come out?
We come out and provide a consultation. So we're happy to come out and meet with anyone here in Santa Clarita.
See if it's going to work for your area.
Absolutely.
And then if they want it, you'll actually
do
a design and give, and that's where they got to break the wallet out a little bit.
We can. And by the same token is that when we come out to a property and we assess it to see what kind of water feature could work in here, there are, for instance, like a pondless waterfall is a higher price point than, for instance, a standalone fountain. We can take a look at that, work with you to see what is the best choice to have in your situation, because not all locations warrant each of these products that are here and each of these elements. And we sometimes have clients who, for instance, if we have a pond and a waterfall, we have more than one pond and a waterfall on a property.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had that on the other place. I don't know if you remember, but I actually had a little courtyard, and I put a fountain, a freestanding fountain. And one of the things that my wife and I noticed is we were constantly filling it up because water would evaporate. So, being the plumber I am, I added one of those little toilet overflow things so it automatically would fill up. That was cool.
We have a better way to phrase it.
Oh,
it's
well,
an
you can
autofill line, not a toilet overflow.
It worked fine. No,
Yeah.
you couldn't see it.
Okay.
I'm sure my buddy John would know how good that worked.
But you know what? We do. On all of our ponds, on our major water features, we put in automatic fill lines just to make it easier to take care of.
So that's the same principle as what the toilet has. It's
It
create a
is.
Source of
flow.
overflow
It's a
damage
flow.
when they fail.
Yeah, but it's
not
outside, John, so they're not going to have any claims.
Okay.
In addition to that, John, on a serious note on here is that you might have flooding issues on the outside. So if we have an autofill line, we also have an overflow line that goes into the drain, so
Yeah,
your
just like
pond
a
can
pool.
never overflow.
Just
Very
like a
smart.
pool. Just like a pool. Okay.
You know, a lot of what it takes to build and design a pool, there is the art of it, just the way that it looks. But truly, there is a science to it. And you develop that over time of really how to build these so that they are low maintenance, how they are durable, and you can enjoy them for years and years.
Well, that's exciting. Well, so now the fountains, the overflow, but you have an overflow. Usually you want to put it in areas where it's either rocks or
Or
some
you
sort
build
of
in
plant.
some underground drains around that area.
What about cleaning? I remember a little bit with some.
Do you want to know something? The highest maintenance that we find are really these smaller standalone fountains, but we'll talk more about that after the break.
Okay. Well, Kyle's giving me the signal, so I guess this is Randall Winter with Home 411, Hometown Station, 1220 AM.